Hey folks, welcome back to Skyward Sword. We are here in a jail cell in Eldin province without any of our possessions. That's not good. That's not actually good at all. That's in fact very, very bad. We should get out of here. Hey, look who it is. It's the large one. I remember you. No, I didn't forget. I don't even wish I could. I like you. This one's a cool guy. Anyway, if you somehow forgot, bumped your head or in the landing or something, we are here to find the fire dragon and learn the final part of the Song of the Hero, so that we can complete the Song of the Hero and find the Triforce. But, of course, the Bogoblins will just not allow that. I did notice, actually. I noticed because everything is gone. Although it is a little strange. You can see the adventure pouch is still there, but I guess the contents are gone? Except that doesn't actually make sense, given what we will see later. A little confuzzling. But anyway, now we have the magma mitts back, which means we can escape from this jail cell by utilizing this little pit here. Yeah, screw you, guard. Also witness the most complex underground maze ever. Anyway, as you might have guessed, this portion of the game is essentially a little mini stealth section in which you have to run around, not get caught by enemies, and reclaim all of your items. And as you gain more items, you gain more ways to deal with the enemies and the new obstacles that the eruption has presented. And you basically gotta find your way around Eldin again, in a slightly new way. You could call it lazy, reusing this entire section again, but, you know, it kind of is, but I like it. I think this is a good section. It's not the worst stealth section I've ever seen in a Zelda game. I think it's relatively decent. Anyway, these curse keys now pose much less of an annoyance, since there's nothing they can prevent us from using. Except now we can't pick up pots. Screw you. Screw you, bats. Hate you. Anyway, we gotta find our way to all our various items using the magma mitts primarily right now. And Lord knows that'll be helpful. Can I just say, it looks really cool during the eruption. The lighting changes to a really cool, kind of a higher contrast thing. It looks pretty rad. It's one of the few good uses of what I think is bloom lighting. It looks like bloom, I think. It's certainly not as overly bloomy as Twilight Princess. Anyway, that's just a reminder that this is in fact a stealth section. If you get caught, bad things will happen to you. You don't want that. It's not instant death, and you don't get sent to like the very beginning of the area, but you will lose some health, and you will have to redo certain portions. It is a better option not to get caught. But it is probably the most forgiving stealth sequence in any Zelda game so far. Ooh, this is useful. Apparently we still have our map. Not sure why, but okay. Anyway, you can see the chests marked on here. And thanks to Mr. Magma here, we can see what's in them. Honestly, I think this is more useful because it reminds you that you have the map. Anyway, I'm setting up beacons to make it a little easier to find these things. Generally, you'll run into them anyway. They're at strategic points. They're not off in the middle of nowhere. But beacons never hurt anybody. Except my Aunt Doris. That's a story for another time. Let's go. Here we have our first instance of stealth. Got some walls. We got a dude has a very predictable back and forth walking pattern. And you'll want to be behind him until he's far enough away. You can slip in there. And of course, there are gels, old things everywhere. They're annoying because you can't actually kill them this time. You can just shake them off. Anyway, for now, we're just going to make our way to whichever item we actually have the capability of getting. And you'll see which one that is in just a short while. But I'm pretty sure there's only one order to get the items in. Because it is very much set up in a way, okay, you got this item, now you can go open up this section, which lets you get this item. It's very much like a Metroidvania, honestly. Except stealth. And very, very small scale. Seriously, screw those guys. Do not like them. Anyway, look, that's a thing. We got spotlights, searchlight spotlights. They're stationary, but if you go into that radius, much like in the Silent Realms, you will immediately get caught. And that's not good. You don't want that. Anyway, look, one of these guys, we don't have to do anything with him. He's just kind of hanging out. Don't even know why he's there. Anyway, sneaking around to the other side allows us to open this chest, which contains... Oh, the gust... Okay. That's a little less cool. This is very much an opportunity for the game to give you the items that you very, very rarely used later on in the game, and force you to use them again, just to remind you that they exist. So of course the Gust Bellows, one of the most situational items, returns for more of the same situations. Now this little path right here is basically the closest to an actual stealth game we'll ever get. Because, oh my goodness, we got 2 Bokoblins on patrol now. We actually have to do a little bit of timing to make sure that we don't get caught by either of them. But really, it's pretty darn simple. The camera will help you, as you can see like there. And I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that sprinting, dashing, will attract attention because it's like noisy. So you'll want to just run normal rather than dash. Anyway, we got past that guy, but in getting past this guy, we need to make sure that the first guy doesn't see us. You remember his pattern, he will be often looking in this direction. Now this is a dicey place to be. Not exactly a prime hiding spot on the side of a wall, rather than behind one, but it's very much lenient enough that you can just get by. Now we just can sneak under this searchlight. We haven't even used the Gust Bellows yet, that's how useless they are. Anyway, sneak under there, and we already get our second item back. Again, without having used the first item. I suppose you could get either of them in whatever order, but you'd be deliberately walking past the Gust Bellows just for the sake of sequence breaking, and that doesn't matter. Doesn't count. Anyway, claw shots. First actually useful one. They do give you a certain progression of power here. At first, all you have are the magma mitts, and you sneak around under things. Then you have Gust Bellows, which are freaking useless. Then you have Claw Shots, which you can go over things, and both the Gust Bellows and the Claw Shots allow you to briefly stun enemies, I believe. And sooner or later, we're going to get from stunning to stunning at a longer distance to actually damaging them, believe it or not. Anyway, look, that's a door. There's nothing of interest behind it, as far as I'm aware. I investigated, there's nothing. Some pots, maybe. I don't know. I asked, like, 3 people who were watching me play, and they had no idea either. Anyway, now that we have the claw shots, we can sneak around to this side. Pay close attention. They do give a little, like, Zelda patented camera pan over to show you where you're supposed to go. But it isn't actually focused on probably the most confusing part of it, is that there are these vines. It's very easy to get focused only on that, the thing that you're supposed to interact with. You'll see what it is in a little bit. But the vines are probably the most important part there. Vines let you get over here, let you wield these temporary bomb flowers, and you can grab yet another item. The whip. Even better at stunning things. Claw shots could stun things at a distance, now you can stun things at a distance while Z-targeting, which is a little easier. And it also allows you to rip this guy up. It's a P-hat. And now we've collected all 3 of the items on this lower level, so we gotta get up to the level of the first fire dungeon. I've already forgotten what, Earth Temple. By the way, that passageway is always closed off, because that platform will always raise up as soon as you come close to it. And it just won't go down until you leave. Anyway, yeah, now we gotta get up to higher elevation on the mountain in order to collect 2 more of the items. And at this point, you're like checking your map, like, oh my god, I want those bombs that are up high. But nope, you gotta make do with these bombs that are just strategically placed on the ground. Makes you appreciate what you once had. You don't know what you had till you lost it. Spoiled brat. Anyway, the game likes to block off sections using giant rocks that you have to bomb open. It's a good way of limiting you, and it makes sense in the narrative context, so I'm not going to give it too much trash. Amazing treasures. What you talking about? Well, whatever it is, it's blocked by rocks. I don't know how the, like, volcanic rocks managed to fall in that cave without just completely disrupting the entire... I mean, they could drop off a ceiling, but it would be a complete collapse, probably, of the cave. Fire keys. You're not curse keys, but you're still annoying. Now, one thing I neglected to mention just a little bit earlier is that now that the lava is flowing, we have some moving platforms. Like, that just flow along the lava, serene in the breeze. And that allows us to kind of traverse the lava in a new way. Or just in new paths, I suppose. Still have to wait for them, though. Nah. And I don't think that these platforms will collapse under your weight. As far as I'm aware. I don't think they do. That or they have much longer timers than... Oh dear, that was foolish. Again, being patient is a good attribute. It's very useful in all sorts of stealth sections, but, you know, that's not me. It's not my style. Alright, let's toss this bomb over there. And grab this. And this gives us back the scatter shot, or the slingshot if you didn't upgrade it. And, this is, again, an even better way of stunning enemies from a distance. Because you can use the, kind of the arcing motion of the shots to get dudes, and it's probably easier to aim. But again, we're still stuck with stunning. Anyway, move on through the Bokoblin village here. Man, these guys really went to town while we were gone. There we go, and there's the last chest, which we know from the map to be bombs. And bombs will just open up all sorts of new possibilities for us. Anyway, since we can't kill these dudes yet, we have to stun them with Scatter Shot. And this is very dicey. It's very easy to not know what you're doing here. There we go. For whatever reason, stunning the operator just completely turns off the searchlight. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, Wind Waker made it just like go up into the sky and not point anywhere. Here it just turns it off. Anyway, disable that, sneak down here in that short time frame. And to-doodly-da, we got the bombs back. Baby got bombs. Bombs got back. Something along those lines. And now that we have bombs, we actually have a way of defeating enemies. We can explode them, and they will die. And that makes our overall passage through the rest of the volcano much, much safer. So for one thing, we can lob that over there. And that searchlight is out of the way. And a very, very useful combination that you'll encounter here is a scatter shot bomb combination. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as bomb. It's like shooting bombs from your slingshot. That would be too rad. But stunning an enemy and then laying a bomb near them so that it explodes before they wake up or very close to when they wake up. That's a good combination. Because it's very hard to use a bomb to damage an active enemy. Anyway, momentarily forgot that I didn't have my sword, so I tried to slash those keys, and guess what? I couldn't, because, yeah. Anyway, now that we have the bombs, we can open up this passageway up to the crater, as well as the shortcut down to the slide, which we have no reason to use whatsoever. And let's head in. Oh, and look what it is. It's the sword. The Master Sword. The true Master Sword, in fact. And basically that means we're unstoppable killing machine again. Ooh, blue rupee. That is very, very much appreciated. A rupee in the bank is worth 2 in the bank. Anyway, now that we have the sword, we can very easily just slash everything and Skyward Strike everything, and really there's no danger whatsoever anymore. And it's just a matter of running around and getting the rest of our items. Only 60% chance? I don't think that's good enough, Fee. Anyway, we cannot go up this passageway because guess what? Another volcanic rock. Yep. So now, I want to go... Rupees. Gotta have the rupees. You remember over here we visited and there was a goddess cube over on that platform over there that you were supposed to get now rather than then, because I had an overpowered Skyward Strike at the time. You can get it now because the lava is flowing and there are now platforms moving along. And that allows us to get to the other side there where hopefully the dragon resides. And of course, for the sake of demonstration, I will show you why we cannot yet actually get to the dragon. Because, oops-a-doodly, we gotta lower the drawbridge. To do that, we would either need the bow, I believe would work, or Mr. Bug. Both of those are unfortunately missing. Anyway, through here, and oh look, we got some of them those water droplet plants. And that allows us to very situationally do this. But it's just to make sure that you got your sword, I think, is the idea. Because you couldn't get through it otherwise. Anyway, fire keys up in my grill. And some Bakublins that we can actually fight with a sword. It's wonderful. I'm going to try the bomb tactic here, but unfortunately it doesn't quite work. I think the guys with bandanas might wake up a little faster or something. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is. It usually works, I swear. Anyway, taken care of. And let's restock our bombs by foolishly putting one down. And harvest the contents of this chest. What wonderful single item will we get from this chest? Our entire adventure pouch and all the rest of the items. You remember I pointed out earlier that we still had the adventure pouch on our model. So yeah, that's a little bit of discontinuity there. And I just have to complain that it seems very lazy to just give all the rest of our items back immediately right there all at once, rather than extending the section a little longer and coming up with more creative puzzles to use with a limited inventory. But oh well. Also, it's very easy to forget that your shield is actually in your adventure pouch. When I first played, I was like, oh god, I didn't get my shield back. So I went and bought a new one and realized that I still had one in my adventure pouch. Anyway, waiting for a platform. There you are. Killing this guy just out of spite. Hate him. And off to see the fire dragon. Alright, Mist Bug, the Great Revival. You remember these things from like the second dungeon? Nice little throwback. Nothing difficult about it, but a little bit of consistency. And there we go. All taken care of. Dragon, I've come to see you. See, the thing about the fire dragon is that, unlike the water dragon, who was a character already, and the Lanayru dragon, who we had to, like, revive, fire dragon doesn't have any plot associated with him other than him being the cause of the eruption. So he's just kind of there. There's nothing really memorable about him. He's just kind of there. Whatever, song time. And there we go, the third part of the Song of the Hero, and that means we have all three parts from down here. Let's bring it to Levias. Yeah, you need to like control your temper, your bowels, or whatever. I don't know, but try to avoid eruptions. They're generally not like good. They kill things. I mean, it's already, like, constantly erupting anyway, so... Anyway, that wraps up all of our song collecting business down here on the surface, which means we can return to the Thunderhead, talk to Levias, get the final part of the Song of the Hero, and hopefully find our way to the Triforce. Good fun. And that takes care of things here. So, let's return to the sky, and I will see you guys next time for the completion of the Song of the Hero.